Hello, hello, hello. Happy, I was going to say happy birthday, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hi, everyone. Come on in, say hello. Come on in, say hello. Hi, everyone. Hello, Miranda72. Hey, Bruno, how are you? Hi, everyone. Hi, Facebook. Hi, YouTube. Hi, Instagram. Hello, family. Finest Shandy. That that username always reminds me of that Shandy drink. I'm doing good. Hello. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Happy Tuesday. Miriam, hi. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Hola, obrigado. Hola. Buenos dias. That's about the only Spanish I know. But the funny thing is, because I've been to Mexico, and it's amazing how you start to pick up words and you start to understand. Olubo, how are you? Good evening, finest Shandy. How's everybody's day going? Hi, everyone. Hello, YouTube, Facebook family. This lady just celebrated a birthday, 44. I remember just like yesterday when my mom had this big Owambe party. Like if you're Nigerian, you already know what Owambe is. Um, when she turned 40, and I felt like, wow, she's getting old. And here I am. I'm like, listen, don't be calling me old. I remember one day I had this really, really cute dress on. My oldest was like, thank you. I did. My boy spoiled me rotten. Like, yeah. My oldest was like, where you going? I'm like, listen. See. Omo, I only had kids. I did not die. All I did was have kids. Having kids doesn't mean we number meals in demo. So please talk to him. Hi everyone, this is Attorney Abisola Adibola Olale Samuel, immigration attorney. I am an attorney who is based to practice immigration law, and my office is physically based in Alabama, but I can represent immigration clients regardless of exactly Gabriel. Like, boy, don't be doing it. Keep it moving. Um, I represent immigration clients in any state. A lot of people do not know, and that's a question we get a lot in the office. That okay, so your office is in Alabama, so how are you going to represent immigration case? Well, I can, and I do. The truth of the matter is, most of my immigration clients are not actually in my state. They're not in Alabama. Most of my immigration clients are in Indiana, Texas, um, New York. Chris has that information, so he's the number guy and the graph guy in the logistics. I don't do that. I talk and I write briefs. That's what I know to do. But I hope you all had a good weekend. I had a good birthday. My son's birthday was on Saturday. Mine is the following day. So it was, back to back double celebration. We thank God for sparing our lives. Anyway, so that said, do not let the fact that we are not located in your yes, talk in your state be a deterrent to you seeking out and reaching out to us if we can help you with your case. Number to reach is 334-341-4475. Visit our website at olaleelawfirm.com. That's it, mouthful. Let me take a deep breath. Thank you, Miriam. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. And you already know the drill. If you got questions, put it in the comment section. We'll get to those questions after. What I want to talk about this evening is I-130 denied after switching to a Vawa case. Your I-130 that was filed on your behalf has been denied after switching to a Vawa case. What next? That's what we're going to talk about. If you are someone who is in the middle of, hold on one second, people. If you are someone who is in the middle of a regular marriage-based case, and now you know you're going to be switching over to a VAR case, or you have already switched over to a VAR case, Then the question then is, because I've talked a lot about this, I know I had a couple of consultations today where that came up. Thank you, Dan Dave Empire. I talked about this. I had a couple of consultations today where one of them retained my services, and we're going to be doing that same thing. What happens when you switch over to a VAWA case? Can you even, switch your I-485 to a VAWA case? What happens in transferring your priority date? That's something that I know I get at least a question about that every single day. So if y'all know somebody who is in the middle of switching over to a VAWA case, or who did not request a priority date to be transferred, then this is the video you want to listen to. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Please like and share our Facebook page. We're trying to grow. We are growing. I appreciate all those who have started following us. Instagram people, y'all have a special place in my heart. You already know. But subscribe to our YouTube channel. Visit our website. We have a lot of information. I don't know how I do it, but I know that somehow I find time to be. Well, I don't have a choice. I got to be a mom because I made this decision to have those kids. And the other day, teacher was like, what did he say? Because he said, so he wanted a new phone for his birthday. And I said, how much do you add to the rent? What is the amount that you contribute to the mortgage each month that you think you should have a new phone? A very new question. This kid is going to tell me, that's my child. Well, I didn't ask to be born. You made a decision to have me. And I need to have a phone so I can communicate with you and talk to you when you're not around. Well, I see America, my funny. So I told him, I said, no, that's what you get it wrong, kid. I am required by law to put a roof over your head, to put clothes on your back, to make sure you go to school, and to put food in the refrigerator. Everything else is a bonus. And I can decide if I want to do it or not. That's the way I see it. Listen, I don't do friends with kids. He's your type of boy. He said. But anyway, so please subscribe to our YouTube channel. That would be very much appreciated. On all social media platforms, put in Olale Immigration, and this salt and pepper hair girl will be looking at you. But anyway, let's get right into it. So what happens? Hello, Mr. Abayami. What happens if you've now switched over to a VAWA case? Your I-130 has now been denied. What does that mean? And how do you still go forward with not having to file a new I-485? If you've never been, or you live under a rock, or you just don't have an idea. Let me say this. There are a lot of people who do not know that VAWA is an option and a way to get their green card through the marriage way. You still need to have a good faith marriage when it comes to a VAWA case. That is, a lot of people think, okay, my spouse isn't helping me out. They denied my regular marriage case. Let me just switch over to a VAWA case. Yes. However, keep in mind that now you are going to be the only one that has to prove the good faith part of your marriage. You still will not get away from good faith even when you switch over to a VAWA case. You're still required to prove that. So you're in a case where you're married. And for those who don't know, VAWA is a way where you can file for your own green card and file an underlying petition of an I-360, also known as a VAWA petition. And that will be the basis for you to get the green card, based on the fact that you're married to a citizen or green card holder, or you were married to them and you divorced, but you filed within 2 years from the divorce, and you have suffered abuse at the hands of that green card holder or citizen. So when you are in a regular marriage-based case, your spouse is the petitioner. And basically, the way I see it is this. They've got you where they want you to be. A lot of marriages work out, but a lot of marriages, some other marriages don't work out. And that's why Congress passed the VAWA Act. The current president actually was a big part of why the VAWA Act actually passed. Now, if you now have, so when you file a regular I-130, the spouse files the I-130 for you. Based on this I-130, you build on it and you file your I-485, your green card application, you file your 765, you file your I-131. Whenever there is an issue in the marriage, or if your spouse just wakes up one day and say, you know what, I don't feel like going ahead with this immigration process, I'm going to withdraw my application or my petition. Guess what happens? Once the spouse withdraws the application, the petition, everything, so the foundation is I-130, everything that is relying on that foundation cannot stand. Why? Because this is out and then everything falls. And that's why you get a denial of the I-485. Now, what happens if, say for instance, abuse has occurred? Now you have an interview scheduled. You know your abusive spouse is not going to be there, but you are looking for a way that USCIS is not going to deny your I-485 because the basis by which you filed it is probably going to be denied. What do you do in that situation? Number one, if you already know your spouse is not going to show up for an interview, hear me loud and clear. Go to the interview by yourself. If you already know you're going to be switching over to a Vawa case, go to the interview. If you have a lawyer, let them go with you. At least they can still go with you. They cannot help you with the Vawa case because then they'll be conflicted out, but they can attend with you. And like yesterday, I had four I-485 interviews. Well, I-130 interviews that were scheduled, but the spouses were not there. All four were cases where we've already submitted 3 of those. One we're going to be submitting either this week or next week, and it's all 4 to convert to our case. I attended all interviews telephonically, so basically I didn't have to be there in person, but I was on the phone. My clients had my G28 with them to show that this is who the officer is speaking with. What happened then? All we did was, officer, thank you for your time. Please understand that the spouse is not going to be showing up today. There has been a lot of changes in the marriage that has now made it necessary for us, or made my client eligible to file for a Vawa petition. And all we're asking today is for you to not adjudicate this I-485 today. We're asking to hold it in abeyance. And the law allows us, USCIS policy allows us to make that request verbally or in writing, that the I-485 be transferred to the Vawa petition. And once you've made that request, understand something. You must file the Vawa petition within 30 days from the time you make the request. Let me say that again. Go to your interview, even if you know your spouse is not going, because the one thing you will be able to achieve is to prevent yourself from having to pay filing fees for your I-485, having to risk your EAD being denied and starting all over again, and saving yourself time and money, and also keeping your priority date. So you've done all that, and now you get a notification that the I-130 petition has now been denied by USCIS. Does that mean that your 485, because it was based on that, is not going to be denied? And short answer is it depends. That's a lawyer answer. It depends. Why? If you have made that request to the officer, and that's why I said go to the interview, because I've had people who would call to reschedule, but it never gets to the field office. Field office ends up denying their application because they deny the visa petition. Go to the interview, let them know. You don't have to tell them anything about the reason why you're filing for VA, other than just saying, I'm switching the underlying basis of my I-485 to I-360 petition. I'm asking you to hold my I-485. Do not adjudicate it yet. And I'll send you a receipt notice once we get it from Vermont Service Center. But keep in mind, because your spouse did not show up, the I-130 that was previously the grounds for which you filed the Vawa case will be denied because the spouse did not show up. That's just how it goes. How does that affect your 485? That's what the answer is. When I said it depends. If you've made that request, then your 485 still stands. Your EAD still stands. Your advanced parole still stands as long as you file the VA petition within 30 days from the time you have made that request to USCIS. Everybody clear? So it does not affect your I-45 if you've made that request and they have agreed to hold it. So they'll keep it, and then whenever your VA petition is approved, the Vermont Service Center will still have to forward your file to the same field office, unless you move, to the same field office where you had your interview originally scheduled. So an I-130 denial will not have any consequential results on your 485 as long as you have made that request to hold your 485 in abeyance. And once you get your I-360 receipt notice, send a copy to USCIS field office so they have it in their file, and you can keep working, keep your 485 going, and not have to worry about starting all over again. That's it, people. It's not rocket science. It's just what it is. I have a lot of people who will tell me, well, my attorney just said, leave it alone, just start afresh. That's okay. I've had clients who say, I just don't want anything to deal with this person. I'm just going to start. But I have 99% more people saying, if I can save $1,225 and save additional attorney fees and save the time where I have to be out of work, I'll rather do that. And I've done that. Listen, I can do it in my sleep. You would have those officers who do not know what the heck they're doing, and they try to argue with you. So this is what I do for every client. Whenever I have a client that I know I'm not going to be there physically, I print out what I call an abeyance package. The abeyance package would have a cover letter. It would have a copy of the I-130 receipt notice. It would have a copy of the I-485 interview notice. It would have, if we file the VA case, then it would have a copy of the posted receipt showing that it was delivered to Vermont Service Center or it's in transit. It would also have my G28 showing my appearance on behalf of the client. And I always include a copy of the USCIS policy that clearly states that if an applicant of an I-45 requests that you transfer the underlying basis of their 45 to their self-petition, USCIS is required to give you 30 days to file that petition and show them proof that you have filed it. If you do that, they're required to keep your I-45 until your self-petition, your VA petition has been adjudicated. If you do not let them know or file within 30 days, then they don't have to keep it. Very, very simple, very straightforward. So you will have those officers who are going to argue with you and say, well, we're not required to. You just show them a copy of the policy. It's the U.S. government. They said it. They said it, and we can do it. So what's the problem? Sometimes you just have to let some officers, because listen, most of them are not attorneys, or it's more about training. It's about policy. It's about, check mark here and there. So you have to know exactly what you're doing. Now, in the case where your I-130 has now been denied, after you switch over to a VA case, what happens to the fact that you're not still going to be able to transfer the priority date of the I-130 to your VA petition even after it's been denied? Short answer, yes. If you were the beneficiary of that I-130, whether it's been withdrawn, denied, or revoked, as long as you were the beneficiary, the law allows you, USCIS allows you to request that the priority date on your I-130 be transferred over to your VA petition. And what that does, it would be deemed that you have filed your I-360 as of the day the I-130 was filed. We got it? That's all sure, people. So the more you know. Interview coming up, spouse isn't going to show, no issues. If you're filing for VA, go to the interview, preferably with an attorney, so that, because a lot of people get nervous. I remember one of the guys from yesterday, he blacked out. I get it. So I did most of the talking. And trust me, I'm never short of words. And that was one of the most seamless, just effortless interview. That officer was just one of the kindest people I've ever spoken to. My client sat down And then, I always tell my client, as soon as they call you in, you're walking into the interview room, you're texting me, because I don't care what it is. Text me. They just called my name and I'm walking in. As soon as you get in there, tell them I need to get my lawyer on the phone. It is your right. I need to get my lawyer on the phone. Here is her G28. So, the officer, he sat down and the officer was like, okay, so he has an abeyance package label given to me, like, yes. And I explained what's going on. And he said, okay, all right. So you already know you have to cancel it. You have to file it by 30 days. Absolutely, officer. We'll send you a receipt notice as soon as we get that, and it would show that it was filed within the time frame. And he said, okay, that's then your client can leave. End of story. Today we got the denial case notification that I-130 was denied, and I already told him that's going to be expected, because now you're transferring the foundation of your green card application from I-130 good faith to I-360 good faith. It's all about you now. You get to be in control. You get to be in the driver's seat. You leave the rest to God. That's it. All right, people, let's get to questions and comments. So that's how you take care of that. Okay. Hello, Mr. Melvis. How are you? I saw your email because I glanced through my emails, but I will get to it. Don't know when, because I glanced through, and it's not like it's not important, but like if I have a case that has to go out tomorrow and I see an email for that person, I have to prioritize that. I'm sure you understand that. I did the same thing with you, but I will get to the email. I have like 1,500 emails unread. So, yeah. Hello, Muhammad. How are you? I'm doing good. Lady B, where's our cake? Funny thing, I didn't have a cake for I don't really celebrate my birthday. Because my son, for the last 12 years, because my son's birthday is the day before mine. So most of my planning goes into my son's birthday. And so he had a soccer tournament, but almost an hour and a half away. And so after his tournament, we took he and his teammates to a Korean barbecue place. And it's where one of those places where they have a grill in the middle of the table and you make your own food. It was the coolest. And we invited the parents too. So we were like, ooh, fancy. And so he had his cake. And that's always usually, I don't think I've ever ordered a cake for myself, unless, Chris orders of my kids. I listen, there's no cake. There's no cake. Hello, Miss Gibson. Where did you go? Hello, Miss 𝒊𝒒𝒏𝒕. How are you doing? Happy belated birthday. Thank you. I pray you had a wonderful day as you mark another year in your life, and that of us will listen to you. Thank you. But for his grace. See that? I got my treat. That was my very, very first tattoo. I had a whole lot going on in my life at that point. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it says God's own, and it's got this lion head on it. I'm God's own. I'm completely hopeless and helpless without Jesus. Anyway, I would like to know how can we overcome a permanent, this is Leave Love Vegas, bar in Vawa case by demonstrating a connection between the abuse one suffered and the reentry that triggered the permanent bar. Well, that's something you want to get an attorney to help you with. That's not something you can just say, oh, I want to know. That's an attorney. Okay. Okay, Lady B says, after filing for Vawa 2 weeks before interview and still called USCIS that the husband is in jail, but we were still denied the I-130 and the I-45. What is the way forward? That is the thing. I don't rely on calls, because let me put it to you this way. When you call USCIS, you're calling the contact center. You're not calling the field office. So the contact center has to still forward that information to the field office that has jurisdiction over your case. If the field office never gets notified of your call and your request, and you don't show up, then that they don't have a choice but to deny it unless you can, there's a way you can prove, that you called. But even when you call, they tell you someone will call you back. They're not telling you that you will, yes, you don't have to go. They'll tell you someone will call you back. That's why I prefer, thank you, Mr. Planning. That's why I prefer to actually tell my clients, go to the interview. I know it's going to be, they're probably going to, not even have breakfast and FLA things and all that. I get it. But please understand, you have rights, even as an undocumented person or pending adjustment of status immigrant. You have rights that applies to you and allows you to make certain requests while your case is pending. So that's what I would have done, Lady B. So thank you, Charles. You're a genius and love your style. I appreciate that. Okay, Mr. Pam, can a husband and wife live in different states? What's the implications on the interview? Can they? Yes, but you must be able to show convincingly that there is a reasonable explanation for that. However, it's still expected that you and your spouse will have time to share with each other. For instance, if you are working in one state and you have to, one person works in one state and the other person works in another, how do you see each other during the weekend when someone is on vacation? You must, and which one is the main marital residence? Your evidence must support all of that. Okay. Let me go to Instagram. Y'all on the roll on Instagram today. Let's see. Okay, I don't want to miss anyone's questions. Happy Tuesday. Blue Trillions, good evening from Georgia. Good evening to you as well. Okay. Hello, Miss Geraldine. How are you? I had a fabulous birthday. So this is one of my gifts from Chris. Because let me tell y'all the story of my Apple Watch. And you know how true of an Ijebu woman that I am. And I'm kind of Ijebu no. Because Ijebu like to save. Like a Ijebu person will have millions and they'll tell you, 𝒂𝒒𝒒𝒂𝒒𝒒, rara. Well, how do I know? Because my mother is a full-blooded Ijebu woman. So I lived with her. I was raised by an Ijebu woman. So my previous watch, my previous iPhone, my iWatch, used to belong to my oldest kid. And then I think he got his watch for his birthday or for some occasion. And because I don't buy gifts to my kids just because, no, they got to earn it. And then he passed it down to his brother. And then TJ got his for his, I want to say it was his 8th birthday. And then it was handed to me. So I wore that watch to the point of the face detached from the whole watch. It was detached. Better believe it. I got super glue. Because first of all, I took to Apple. They said, they don't have, it was way past warranty. It was the very first series. And it was going to cost more than what it would cost to buy that same series to repair. Like, you know what? If it's something like, I came back home, sat down, super glued the heck back to the face. Glued it so many times. I can't even tell you how many times. I mean, like I probably bought like 3 jars of super because it kept coming off. But listen, it was still in the time. It was telling me time. That's all I needed. So Chris was like, golly, I've never seen someone put into something. There was nothing wrong with it. Why would I toss it out? But so it was by fire, by force. Lofinio kill auntie. There's nothing that's gonna happen. But anyway, I had a good birthday. Thank you. And my son, my oldest kid, he is really, really talented in art. He drew. I'm gonna put it up later. He took a photo of me and he drew it. He does digital drawing and all that. It's in a frame. I've already framed it. It's in my office. The kid's got talent. But we're not going to school for fine art. And Nigerians don't go to school for fine art. Sorry. Just saying. I can do it as a side hobby, but Gabrielle, can a U.S. citizen mom file for her 40-year-old daughter? If yes, will the 40-year-old get a work authorization while waiting for her green card? Um, can a U.S. citizen file for a 40-year-old daughter? Short answer, yes. A citizen can file for any child, regardless of age, regardless of marital status. Will the 40-year be able to get a work authorization while the green card, while waiting for the green card? Only if there has been a green card application filed, and it can only be filed when her priority date is current. Okay. I answered them on how are you? All right, let's see. Miriam says, what if you file for Vawa and have not requested for 485 to be held in abeyance? Now, if you filed for Vawa and you're yet to be called for an interview, say, for instance, the I-130 is still pending, then, there isn't anything to lose at that point. However, if your spouse decides, because I had a consultation today, the lady was physically abused to the point where, it was bad. Finally called cops. They're from a country where you just don't call the cops. I'm Nigerian. That's one of the countries you just don't call the cops to Europe. That's where there's domestic violence a whole lot. Anyway, this guy, the made up, attempted to made it look like they made up. She only found out yesterday when she got a denial of her I-45 that he had gone to withdraw his I-130. Didn't say nothing, didn't tell her anything until she got the denial, called their lawyer, only to be told what happened. She had no clue. So, Miriam, that's just my concern, because it may be pending as much as you think it is, but then you never know. Okay, let's see. Okay. God's favorite 82. Happy belated birthday. May God perfect all that concerns you. Lots of love. Thank you. And you as well. Okay. Damn cool. My asylum has been approved. Congratulations. And we're trying to I-94. Went to USCIS and we're told they would get back to us, and we're still waiting. What do you mean you're trying to I-94? I-94 is proof of entry. That's not a form you file. Underscore. You're an Egyptian woman and a lawyer. You don't let go of stuff. Listen. Yeah. And in that sector for the life of the watch. Yeah, you're praying for the funny thing is, I still didn't get rid of the watch. I still have it. It's on my jewelry armor. I ain't getting rid of it. It's telling time. Like, why would I get rid of it? Because why am I going to get rid of it? One of my boys may end up taking, that's fine, but I ain't getting rid of it. No. Now, I can give it to somebody who doesn't mind that's got a whole lot of super glue on it, but it's going nowhere. Yeah. Kai, God's favorite. Well, that should be told. Yeah, Joe, even listen. Listen, Chris is like, you can take the girl from Nigeria, you can't take the Nigeria out of the girl. I'm that woman who we buy, Danish cookies and those big popcorn cans and tins. I don't get rid of them. They can be used for something else. Like you can put, craft stuff. Like my kid is into, my youngest is into a whole lot of stuff that he ain't paying for himself. So we have a lot of things we get done. You can use that. Why? Why are you paying You've already been to 2 interviews. Okay, Miriam, it's time for you to not. If you've already filed for VAW, then that's the time you want to email them, write them, and ask them to, with a copy of your VAW petition that has been filed, and ask them to um, switch over your case. Okay. God's River Idiots, you got jokes. You said that what you're finding to be kept in the museum. Well, can't argue with that. Can't argue with that. It is what it is. But anyway, all right. A few more questions on Miss Bailey. This is live. We are live right now. Thank you, Kenoy, for it. Yes, we are live. So, but we're almost done. But anyway, so are you trying to get an info pass? Is that what you're trying to do? You're welcome, Miriam. If that's what you're trying to do, that's an I-94. But yeah, I've had a client who's been trying to get, who's going to try to get an info pass to have a passport stamp for an I-551 stamp for an I-751 that we have pending, and it's being rescheduled so many times. So listen, it's USCIS. It's USCIS. So okay, Diamond Cool, yes. Okay. So is it like an emergency? Because you can apply for a refugee travel document. But anyway, all right, people, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate that. Once again, if you are switching over to a VAW case, the very first thing is, listen, going back to the 𝐸𝐿𝐵. If I can help my clients save money, I will. Because I had a consultation yesterday, and the lady was like, she specifically asked her lawyer if they could transfer the 485 so she don't have to pay, and he told her no. And I said, what's the worst that can happen? They'll probably say they deny it and you file, but at least ask. Try to see if I can save you $1,225. If I can save you additional attorney fees because we have to do more forms, why not? I mean, it makes perfect sense, right? But anyway, so okay, I think I got it, everybody. Thank you. You as well. But listen, new week, new almost end of the month. But I know that I put something up yesterday that favor will find you this week. You gotta believe it. You've got to believe it. You've got to believe it. It starts right here. You can pray till Jesus comes back. If you don't believe that you're able to achieve what that which if your mind can conceive, your hands can achieve it. But you've got to believe, and you've got to understand that it's not any power that you have, but it's because of Him who has given you the ability. Every one of us has a talent. Everyone has a gift, and my prayer is every single day that gift that God has imbibed in each and every one of us makes room for us, helps us to to navigate this life's journey, and that He alone will receive all the glory at the end. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I will see